unless you're going to go in there and let her punch you without you punching her at all, without you trying to win at all, without you competing, you just want to be a punching bag, unless that's what you talk about doing. Here are the
Claressa Shields got a real big problem, as Alycia Baumgardner is apparently going to press charges on Claressa Shields for assault.
Yeah, I think it's important to give a young woman advice to know what it is to stand in power, what it is to trust your power, what it is to be still and to follow through when things get hard, when things don't seem to go your way. I think it's important to really mentor the same way I was poured into somebody else, because it really goes a long way.
What does this mean moving forward for both fighters? Well, one, Claressa can't go to MVP events anymore, but seeing that MVP controls like a huge swath of the top female talent, it might make it a little harder for fights for her to get made if they go ahead and decide to work together in co-promoting a fight or one of their fighters that Claressa wants to fight when she moves back down divisions. I believe her last fight has been at 175 and heavyweight. If I stand...
Claressa Shields is facing a major problem, as Alycia Baumgardner has reportedly decided to pursue legal action and press assault charges against Shields following their recent physical altercation.
I don't want to rain on Claressa Shields' parade because I want her to get whatever she wants.
What does this mean for both fighters moving forward? First, Claressa Shields is reportedly no longer welcome at MVP events. Since MVP represents a large share of the top female boxing talent, that could make it much more difficult for her to secure major fights, especially if the promotion chooses not to work with her or refuses to co-promote events involving opponents she wants to face when she returns to lower weight divisions. If I remember correctly, her most recent bouts were at light heavyweight and heavyweight. Now imagine reaching the absolute peak of your sport, becoming an undisputed champion who appears completely untouchable, only to suddenly lose access to some of boxing's biggest opportunities overnight. That is the situation Claressa Shields now reportedly finds herself in. In a shocking development that has sent waves through the combat sports world, Jake Paul's MVP Promotions has reportedly handed Shields a lifetime ban after an alleged physical altercation behind the scenes with rival Alycia Baumgardner. This was far more than the usual pre-fight trash talk. The confrontation reportedly escalated inside a VIP area, where a physical strike was allegedly thrown, triggering massive fallout throughout the boxing community. Adding another layer to the story, Stephen A. Smith, who has had a long and publicly contentious relationship with Claressa Shields, responded to the controversy in a way many are calling one of the biggest twists yet.
Get out the way. I want to get in there. No. World star. Not right now. I'll referee. I'm calling her to get referee.
The drama erupted during a recent high-profile fight event filled with boxing stars, major personalities, and A-list celebrities. Away from the bright lights and far from the watchful eyes of any referee, inside an exclusive VIP area, the long-standing tension between Claressa Shields and Alycia Baumgardner finally reached its breaking point. When the two champions came face-to-face, what began as a heated verbal confrontation quickly spiraled out of control. Grainy cell phone footage that later surfaced online captured the chaotic scene as it unfolded. In the shocking video, Shields allegedly rushed forward and struck Baumgardner, leaving everyone nearby stunned as the unexpected confrontation unfolded in front of a crowd of bewildered spectators. The internet may love a dramatic fight, but Jake Paul's MVP Promotions reportedly took the incident extremely seriously. Soon after the footage spread across social media, the promotion released a strongly worded statement condemning the alleged altercation. The company reportedly announced that Claressa Shields would no longer be permitted to attend future MVP events. With that decision, MVP drew a clear line, emphasizing that while intense trash talk and heated rivalries are part of selling a fight, a reported physical confrontation with another athlete in a private setting crossed the boundary of acceptable behavior. According to the promotion, the incident undermined the image of women's boxing and threatened the progress they say they have invested heavily in building. Rather than issuing a temporary suspension, the reported decision amounted to a long-term ban, effectively shutting one of boxing's biggest stars out of future MVP-promoted events. If anyone believed the reported ban would humble the undisputed champion, the situation quickly proved far more complicated. The controversy intensified when Alycia Baumgardner released a strongly worded public statement of her own. In it, she accused Claressa Shields of displaying a repeated pattern of hostile behavior and suggested that the matter could ultimately involve law enforcement. Baumgardner also made it clear that she intended to handle the situation through the proper legal channels, transforming what had once been viewed as a heated boxing rivalry into a dispute that could potentially extend beyond the ring and into the courtroom.
Package. People love Alycia Baumgardner.
Yeah, you fucking with a married man at the end of the day.
Baumgardner is likable. She is very feminine. And most important, she is not messing with the married man.
You fucking with a married man at the end of the day.
On top of that, Alycia Baumgardner is one of the highest paid female boxers in the game. She is second to Amanda Serrano, the highest paid female boxer in the game.
Yeah, you fucking with a married man at the end of the day.
So when you see Miss Claressa Shields, the most accomplished fighter in the game, she gets mad as hell knowing damn well everybody loves Alycia Baumgardner. That's why she mad.
Yeah, you fucking with a married man at the end of the day. Let's do better.
And on top of that, Miss Claressa Shields is also mad that she is never gonna get signed to MVP, especially after what she just did.
Okay, Southpaw, it don't matter. Did I beat the best or not?
I got a right to my opinion and I stand on.
Baumgardner comes across as very likable to many fans. She carries herself with confidence and femininity, and some supporters also praise her by saying she stays away from controversies involving married men.
So wound up there, cock back, bop, right in the mouth for some confrontation that they're having. Now, let me tell you what my thoughts are on this, because Claressa then doubles down and she puts out a tweet which basically says, yeah, that's what you get when you messing around, when you mess with Claressa. Get the taste slapped out your mouth. Something to that effect. I'll put it up in the graphic in the video. But here's my thing, man. This is great promotion. It's great promotion. It really is. I love it. It's going to be good for Alycia Baumgardner. It's going to be good for Claressa Shields. It's going to be good for their careers. Because you know why? Because ratchet sells. A few years ago, I forget when they put that term to rest, right? Where you just have scantily dressed women over the top with loud mouths screaming back and forth, man. You see Krishan Rock going through that in the fights that she's having with these people in these real life, dramas. I really think that, these people are starting to plan these things out because they're basically being podcasters. What do you call it? In real life, RIL podcasters, in real life podcasters, where like you see Alycia Baumgardner being filmed with, I think the guy's name is DDG, and she's doing live streams with him. She's in the boxing gym with them, right? They're kind of teaming up with with those type of streamers. You have Ryan Garcia, who you saw just last night do a live stream with Tekashi 6ix9ine. They're dressing just alike, and you see Adrian Bronner running around with Dean the Great, and and they're dressing alike. So it's just a big production that these guys are putting on, trying to get their name out there and trying to keep this conversation going, man, in this very, very, very how can you say, swamped media land. And the bigger a fool you act.
On top of that, Alycia Baumgardner has established herself as one of the highest-paid female boxers in the sport today. She is widely regarded as being among the top earners in women's boxing, with only Amanda Serrano often mentioned ahead of her in terms of overall earnings and profile.
And love and breast and titties, it's a sport, bro. Don't nobody want to keep hearing that. It's like we are in a year of 2021. If you don't know that women are in sports yet, I don't know. I don't know where you've been. But when you speak about combat sports, to men who cannot hit the pads better than me, to men who cannot punch faster than me, punch harder than me, to men who cannot beat me up, please do not tell me you don't like seeing women box in the ring, or you don't like seeing women in combat sports. What, you don't like seeing this up in combat sports because you can't do it? Because you don't know how to fight? That's what it all boils down to for me. I think that men who think that women shouldn't be in the ring fighting are upset because they cannot fight. I don't know any other way.
When you look at Claressa Shields, arguably the most accomplished female boxer in the sport, some critics believe she becomes frustrated because Alycia Baumgardner enjoys strong fan support and widespread popularity. In their view, Baumgardner's growing appeal with boxing fans is one of the reasons the rivalry between the two champions has become so intense.
And they all muscular and they're all laying on each other, and you like that? But you don't like women fighting each other, doing the exact same thing? Like, you would think you would want to see women do that. But that's what I'm saying. Like, it just don't correlate with me. Like if you like boxing, no matter who's doing it. No matter who's doing it. So don't say, oh, you don't like when women do it because women are so nice, so fragile. Dudes are so nice and so fragile. What? Okay, dudes got muscles. So do I. I'm a girl. You know? So I just rather people who don't know how to fight and don't know how to box, you just be quiet. Seriously. You just shut up. Especially if you don't know how to box better than me. For real. Like, you can hit the pads. Like, I honestly seen Stephen A. Smith hit the pads. And that's why I think he don't like women's boxing. Because they got some women, a lot of them, who, especially the world champs like myself, Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano, a bunch of us, who box better than him. So he may be a little offended by that. But that don't mean that you tell us, you know, oh, you don't like women in combat sports.
On top of that, critics argue that Claressa Shields is frustrated because Alycia Baumgardner continues to enjoy growing popularity while she now reportedly faces being shut out of MVP events. Following the controversy, many believe Shields has severely damaged her chances of ever rebuilding a relationship with the promotion, making her future opportunities with MVP appear more uncertain than ever.
Claressa Shields' face talking about, I'm gonna beat your ASS because what if she takes me up on that offer? Then what? Y'all saw how she slapped that lady? That was the slap heard around the world. I'm talking about, no, you're teaching, no! I gotta stay in my lane. I would have to say something like, I challenge you to an intellectual debate and exchange of ideas. So if y'all don't know what happened, Claressa Shields and Alycia Baumgardner have apparently been beefing online for a little minute now. They're both professional boxers. They end up seeing each other in person, and from the clips, it looked like it started off as regular boxer trash talk. Alycia was like, I'm gonna beat your ASS, and Claressa was like, beat who?
World star. I know you gonna whoop no ass. Not right now. You gonna whoop no ass, Alycia. Who asked you to whoop?
Now, mind you, there were people separating them already. Security, people standing around, the whole thing. Then Claressa allegedly hauled off and slapped her. Now, a lot of people are criticizing Alycia because apparently after everything happened, she said, get my lawyer on the phone, charges and press. Y'all have to understand, everybody don't fight. Some people press charges. Now, in this case, Alycia actually does fight. She's literally a boxer, but no, it does not look like she tried to fight Claressa back. She probably didn't want to get banned from all events over a backstage altercation. And speaking of banned, yes, Claressa is apparently banned from attending future MVP events now. But yeah, from a legal perspective, if Alycia does press charges, it'll be for assault and battery, maybe even with a deadly weapon, because Claressa, those hands can be fatal. I don't know, but I will say, a lot of people feel like if you walk up to somebody saying, I'm going to beat your ASS, and then they Uno reverse, you don't get to feel bad. But I do have a solution. As the judge in this case, I've heard enough and I'm ready to pronounce my sentence. Alycia, you need to get your weight class up. Claressa, you need to get your weight class down, and y'all both need to get in the ring and settle this properly. And I do think Alycia deserves one complimentary free swing. I know Claressa did not sneak her technically, but they also weren't exactly squared up and ready to fight either. So that slap definitely came out of nowhere in my opinion. So I do feel like Alycia should get one freebie before the bell rings. Court is adjourned.
But Claressa Shields showed no signs of backing down. Taking to social media, she quickly fired back, insisting the entire controversy was being exaggerated far beyond what actually happened. According to Shields, Alycia Baumgardner was the one who initiated the verbal confrontation and provoked the incident, and she argued that Baumgardner was now portraying herself as the innocent victim while making the situation appear far more serious than it really was. Stephen A. Smith reacting to a major boxing controversy is nothing unusual, but his involvement in the story carries far more weight because of his long-running history with Claressa Shields. The two have shared a notoriously tense and often contentious relationship, making his response to the latest controversy even more significant. Years ago, Claressa Shields publicly criticized Stephen A. Smith over his comments about women's boxing, creating one of the sport's most talked-about media feuds. She accused him of holding unfair views toward female fighters, questioned his understanding of the sport, and argued that he should be more careful when criticizing athletes who had achieved so much inside the ring. The exchange became a highly publicized clash that put Smith on the defensive, and many observers viewed it as an embarrassing moment for the veteran commentator. According to Shields, his criticism reflected discomfort with outspoken and successful women, a claim that only intensified their already strained relationship. On one hand, MVP's reported decision can be seen as completely justified. No athlete can expect to allegedly assault a fellow competitor in a private VIP area and still retain the same privileges or access to promotional events. On the other hand, critics argue that combat sports have often applied different standards depending on the situation. Over the years, fans have watched male fighters throw chairs, attack buses, and become involved in public brawls, yet many of those incidents were followed by lucrative main events and even greater publicity. That contrast has fueled debate, with some arguing that when male fighters cross the line, it is often dismissed as promoting a rivalry, while similar behavior involving female fighters can result in far more severe consequences and accusations of damaging the sport's reputation. The landscape of women's boxing has reportedly changed dramatically following this controversy. What allegedly began as a private dispute quickly evolved into a public spectacle, sparking widespread debate, reports of a lifetime ban from MVP events, the possibility of legal action, and intense media coverage fueled by long-standing rivalries. Claressa Shields has continued to defend her position rather than apologize publicly, while Alycia Baumgardner has called for accountability over the incident. At the same time, several media personalities who have previously clashed with Shields have weighed in on the controversy, adding even more attention to an already explosive story. That's all for today's video. If you enjoyed this update, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you never miss our latest boxing coverage. Be sure to share your thoughts in the comments below, and thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.